All right, all right. Welcome back to the Mixtape Show. And it is time for the Artist of the Week interview. And the Artist of the Week interview is brought to you by Art by Guilty Da Vinci and MJ's Hip Hop Connects. And on the other line, we got calling in from Philadelphia. We got the man himself, Mr. Carl Madison. What's good, bro? What's good?
Good. What's good, Kawon? What's going on?
Chilling, man. Chilling, man. Appreciate you taking time out of your busy schedule to do this with us, man.
Man, I'm happy to be here.
Yeah, man. So Philadelphia, man. Before we get into this project that you just released, is I'm the producer, he's the rapper, man. Let's let the audience know, man. Who's Carl Madison?
Carl Madison is the producer. You know, this is I used to be. It's funny. I used to rhyme. I probably still do, and I used to DJ. So transferred. Made that. Came over from DJ to now to the producer. So that's where I'm at right now.
All right, then, producer. And I think you may be our second or third producer we've had on the show who actually had a project out. So it's going to be dope to talk to you because we always get it from the artist's perspective as far as the MC. So now we get to dig in the producer's bag just a little bit, man.
Okay. That sounds great.
So when you started getting into the actual production part, when did you start doing that?
Production, basically, I guess you could say 2000s. I've always, I learned how to DJ from one of my homies. And then as a DJ, it's just that natural progression of, okay, I'm playing music, but now I want to play my own music. So now it's like, well, let me create my own music.
Yeah.
So, where I'm at now is just, all right, well, I want to create my own music and I'm really finding my niche. And I decided to really go into the mashup remix one.
Okay. And what is it about, I know you said as a DJ, you kind of want to hear your own things, but what is it that made you kind of say, I want to do this? This is what I really want to do. Was it just that kind of, you wanted to have like a different DJ set where you kind of really have those like real exclusives?
Yeah. But music has always been my passion. And I can remember from when I was a kid, my mom would play The Message to wake me up to go to school. So the music was always, a part of me. So whether it was DJing, MCing, or being a producer, there's always going to be that motivation to create.
Yeah. And as far as getting into the production, who was the one that kind of showed you the way to get started doing that?
Wow. It's my friend of mine, Jamar. He passed, but he was a mentor and a great friend, but he's also the one who taught me how to DJ. And he used to be on Power 99 up in Philly.
Okay.
So, basically just learning from him and just taking it from there and expanding. And we actually were in a group together called Evolution Through Mastery. And then just learning through that. And then it's almost like the student, kind of stepping out on his own. And that's, what it was for me.
All right. And then who did you study as far as production style and all that stuff? Who are the ones that you looked up to?
Oh, Pete Rock, man. I love Pete Rock. I like a lot of different artists. It's a wide range. It's from Pete Rock to, man, even when listening to like Smokey or even like Let's Get It On, like even listening to the R&B artists, listening to them creating the melodies, because, even as a producer, it's still, you're using that voice as an instrument when you're doing the production. So it's just kind of training your ear to make sure that, you ain't got all these crazy sounds coming in and everything is balanced and level. It's almost like listening to a sandwich.
Ooh, man. So as far as a producer, man, what's some of the things that because I know me as a DJ, as a consumer, the first thing I hear is lyrics. I'm a lyrical guy, but when I'm DJing, I always listen for that bass drop, and that's when I kind of get my ear keyed to. So as a producer, what's the thing you key in on when you start producing your tracks?
It's funny. It's the drums. I don't know what it is. It's the drums. Them drums, if they're moving a certain way, I'm rocking. I'm going, and I'm like, okay. And it's weird because sometimes it's depending on the artist, I'm going to listen to the lyrics, but it's that beat that comes in first, and them drums are going, and I'm like, okay, how is this artist going to come on and like either ride the beat or how is she going to come in and sing? So it, yeah. Yeah, it's the drums, man.
And how, as a producer, man, because this is the thing that I always been looked into, like, admire producers, just because you guys can lock yourself in the room for hours upon hours, man, and literally, like you said, you could just look for that drum pattern, for 4, 5, 6 hours, man.
Right.
How do you have that patience to sit and do that, man? Because I've always kind of wanted to do the production, not do it, but just kind of start learning how to do it. But I don't have the patience to sit there and do that. So
It's interesting because it's so much that you have to learn as far as I'm a computer guy. People are hardware and PC or machine, but I'm a computer guy. So just kind of sitting there and the ideas come, and what happens is it's like, okay, I got this great idea. And so I'll go left, and then it'll take me all the way right.
Mm-hmm.
Then I'll come out with something, and it's just like, man, that was incredible.
Yeah.
So the patience to sit there is really like, what am I going to create?
Mm-hmm.
Now every session is not like the greatest session in the world, but the ones that are, they really are, and it's just like incredible. So I think I like the creative process.
Yeah. And so as far as the inspiration, how do you how does that come to you? Just anything random? Like you see windshield wipers moving and you catch the rhythm of that, and
let that be the backstory. Man, it could be movies, it's conversations. As an artist and a lyricist, when I perform, it would be, all right, well, I hear this beat, and then I'm having this conversation, so now it's this story. Mm-hmm. So it's like when you're doing a song, you got 3 minutes to do the beginning, the middle, and the end. Mm-hmm. And make sure that people can understand what has happened in 3 minutes. Mm-hmm. and get it. And so it's the same type of inspiration that, having a conversation. It's like, what, I would like to make a song about, meeting this girl and then going from here. And so now it becomes the challenge, which is a healthy challenge of like, what is it going to sound like? What is that meaning going to sound like?
Yeah.
And so now that's when the creative juices go. It's like, all right, well, do we want to go real relaxed, or we want to go kind of, upbeat? But it could still be about a girl, but it could be also upbeat, and it could also be really relaxed. So, yeah.
And as far as on the production side, are you by yourself? Is it just you sitting in the room, or do you have a team that you work with when you do your production?
As of right now, it's just me.
Okay.
Which is interesting because I have other producer friends, and some of them have teams, mm-hmm. but it's just me. So, but I think I would like a team at some point.
Is it torturous being inside of your own head and then being in a room by yourself inside your own head sometimes?
It's easier to. It depends. It mm-hmm. depends. When it's flowing, but then mm-hmm. at sometimes it's like, well, I'm trying to get this idea out and I'm not too sure. That's when the team comes in handy. Yeah. Where it's other input, and then it's like, oh, I never thought of it. So.
Yeah. So let's talk about this project, man. You just released here. I'm the producer. He's the rapper. Yes. Kind of like you paid homage to the I think, two of the dopest pioneers of hip hop, Jazzy Jeff and Fresh Prince. Man, let's talk about that. What made you want to put a project together like that? Matter of fact, let's explain this project. What is this project?
It's a remix. It's a mashup, and basically, I'm taking Will Smith vocals or acapellas, and then I'm putting original music that I produced, and mm-hmm. just putting music to it, and trying to give it a really gritty feel. Mm-hmm. Like Jazzy Jeff, Will Smith, definitely legends and icons, and I don't really think they get their just due as they should.
Yeah.
But it's like Will has done some stuff that some people may consider to be pop, but it doesn't take anything away from what they brought to the game. So I figured, okay, let me take those vocals, make it grittier, so instead of having a RZA or a P Rock doing the track, I figured, well, why not I try it myself?
Yeah. And it's a dope project, bro. Like I said, when I heard it, I was when you was kind of telling the story earlier about, telling the story, but when you make a song, you want to tell that story in 3 minutes, and just kind of hearing the samples that you use in there, and the backgrounds, it kind of got me excited to like, man, I want to hear how you gonna flip that Will Smith vocal in there. So after I heard that first one, I was like, yeah, I like this, man. So.
Thank you, man. Thank you. I appreciate that.
And especially with them being from Philly too, man. I bet you that felt good to kind of do that, huh?
Yes, yeah, it definitely did, man. It was a good challenge. It was a really good challenge, getting the acapellas, which are really hard to find by Will.
Yeah.
And just being able to kind of create something that I would listen to. Because I'm like really critical, so it's just like, oh, that's cool, but just like, no, I think I like this. so
let me ask you this: do you kind of use that as a practice whenever you create beats? Do you kind of just put some other vocals behind it? Like, I got producer friends who, they say they hip hop boom bap, and they be like, yeah, I want to hear Nas flow to this beat, so they may take an old Nas vocal and put it over that. Is that something that you kind of do on a regular, just to kind of test the track?
It's interesting. It's a track I have with Snoop on it. So with Will Smith, I studied his catalog, so a lot of thought went into this. So it was just like, okay, well, who can I have feature on there? And it was like I had a Big Daddy Kane verse, I had all these other people, but it didn't seem to fit right because it didn't seem like who Will would partner up to do a track with.
Yeah.
So he did stuff with Snoop, so it seemed more natural. And I came at it from like, okay, if I'm in here with Will, how would I approach this? How would I try and bring these vocals out or bring him out as an artist? And so to answer your question, yeah, is vocals that I tried. It was just like, okay, that's cool, but it didn't really make sense for the project. So yeah.
So outside of this project, you got any other bodies of work out there if the listeners want to go check it out?
I did a couple years ago. I did a track called "Taxin" with Grand Agent and Malik B of the Roots.
Okay.
So that's out there. There's also a Evil D remix and video for that same track.
Okay.
Actually, Evil D, he did the production for it. So.
Oh man. So let me ask you this, man, as a producer, because we had a guest a couple weeks ago, artist out of the Michigan area. He did a whole EP with one producer, and I was telling him, I was like, man, you really don't see that these days, especially on the indie underground scene where artists, do a project with one producer. Man, as a producer, how do you feel about that? Do you feel like that's kind of like a lost art to get that, that sync? We don't have the Mobb Deeps. We don't have the Gurus and Premiers anymore, the UGKs, Pimp C, Bun B, EPMD. Do you think that's kind of a lost art in the game right now?
I think it's more so about I'm the overall person, so it's more so about, does it work for what you're trying to do? So I just listened to the Master Ace and Marco Polo album.
Dope album.
And, oh my gosh. And I'm a huge Ace fan, and it's just like listening him and Marco Polo, it's like it's like it works.
Yeah.
So for him to do the whole thing, I think it's good. And as long as that producer can bring out that artist, I think definitely go for it.
What about the Joel Ortiz and Apollo Brown? Have you heard that one?
I heard some of it, and what I've heard, I like.
All right.
I heard what I like, and so it is a lost art, but I do think that it's still a place for it.
Yeah, yeah. It seems like it's coming out too, because even in your neck of the woods with Philly, Black Thought just released with my man Bilal Remy. Yeah.
Yes. Woo!
And I'm still chewing the fat off of the first one he did with Ninth Wonder.
Yo, let me tell you something. I got to get out my Googles when I'm listening to a Black Thought album, man. Like he said, what?
So let me ask you this, man. Being from Philly, man, it's so rich in music and in culture, man. How proud are you to be from that city and just see, like I said, you got the Roots, you got Jazzy Jeff out there still doing this thing production wise and DJ wise. You got, Jill Scott doing her thing. You got everybody, it seems like, from Philly now. Even on the commercial tip, you got Meek Mill, who just released his album and is getting a lot of good praise.
Yeah.
How's it? You know, you guys just won the Super Bowl. How's it being from Philly right now?
Man. Well, yeah, we won that, so yeah, I'm riding off of that for now. It's great, man. It's like you said, Philly, it has a lot of talent and a lot of great artists. You know, Beanie Siegel. You know, a lot of great singers. You talking about like just Patti LaBelle? Yeah. Oh my gosh, it's just so much. So it kind of, as a Philly artist, whether you're producer, MC, or DJ, it's, you know, it's not pressure, but the bar is high. So you go and you push to be, you know, as good as possible.
Definitely, man. So besides this joint, I'm the producer, he's the rapper. You got any new projects for 2019? Or are we still gonna push this for a little bit longer?
We're gonna push this for a little bit longer, but I'm trying to I have some things that I'm working on. I want to do like maybe a spoken word track. Okay. And maybe do another project for next year. So that's a definite. So yeah. Definitely works. You got any visuals for this project right now? If anything, it's on Instagram. Okay. So just like some 1 minute videos. 1 minute videos, so, man. Yeah, it's a dope project, man. Like I said, it was real refreshing to hear, man. And I can't wait to hear what else you got going on coming up soon, man. Because I'm a big fan of your work right now, man. So thank you. I appreciate. I feel bad that I feel like I'm late to the game as far as knowing what you got going, man. But I'm glad MJ sent you our way, man. I appreciate it, my man. I appreciate it. Oh, man. So let me ask you this, man. For those out there who may want to get in contact with you, want to work with you, what's the best way we can get a hold of you? The best way would probably be through Bandcamp, which is carlmadison.bandcamp.com. And mainly I'm on IG on Instagram at Carl_MAD or Facebook. So, yeah. Oh man! And you open to do collaborations out there? Oh, for sure. Definitely. So artists, if you're out there listening, man, I know y'all are, man. Check out the homie Carl Madison, man. He got some dope work, and let's get a collab going, man. That'd be dope to see. Anybody want to shout out before we get up out of here? Just shout out to MJ AOK. He was guy from out Hawaii. He actually put my stuff up, so he really helped out in digital crates. So good peoples, man, and shout out to you and the whole mixtape crew. Definitely, man. So let me ask you this one last question as a producer, man. How hard is it for you to I don't know. So have you gotten requests from artists and you hear what they got so far and you're like, nah, this just isn't gonna work out, man? That's a good question. Yeah, you know, I've had that in the past where I've had artists, and for me, the best way I can explain it, it's like a marriage. And so for me, I want the best project. So, yeah, you know, it's trying to get the best out of an artist, man. So, best way you can. I can only imagine, man, because I struggle just getting them to email me the right type of track, man. So. Oh, man. All right, well, Carl, man, we definitely appreciate you being on the Mixtape Show, man, and you family now. So if you got anything you want to promote in the future, man, just let us know. We'll bring you back on anytime, man. All right, thanks, Kawon. I appreciate that, man. Definitely. I'll tell you what, man, what you want to get into? Which one of these joints you want to hear off that album? Oh, man, I think I'm in the mood for Men in Black. Men in Black. That's one of my favorites. I actually spun that in the club a couple of weeks ago and got a good reaction to that one. Oh, so. Really? Oh, cool. Yeah, definitely. I'm going to have to spin it again and get some video for you coming up this week. All right, yo, I appreciate that. That's great. All right, well, let's get into this Men in Black joint. This is produced by the homie Carl Madison. Off of that, I'm the producer. He's the rapper. Carl, man, we definitely appreciate you joining us on the Mixtape Show, man. And can't wait to see what you got going on in 2019, bro. All right, cool. Thanks, man. Peace. We'll be right back.